Getting set up here to get this thing rocking and rolling. There we go. There's my notification. Pull this up on another device just in case somebody gets on here. All right. Hey, y'all. What's up? I'm the Frazzled Dad, Alan Clayton. And, I am on here to just sort of chat about the goings on of the day. Just got done with a 2-hour live over on TikTok and coming over here to do a little bit of a recap. All right, so big news of the day, a couple things. Kim Kardashian getting fined and North Korea launching a missile seem to be the two big, and the market having a pretty good day. Kind of get into all three of those. First off, I want to wish everybody a happy World Investor Week. This is, to make sure that everybody gets, make sure that the SEC wants everybody to know that they're there for you, the consumer. Sure they are. All right. And also, October is Financial Planning Month. So there's a lot more that goes into financial planning other than just your investments. There's your entire debt structure, your insurance structure, your income structure, how you handle risk, how you handle increasing costs with inflation. There's all those things to consider when you're putting together a financial plan. So I guess October is as good a month as any to start putting a plan together. All right, so let's get into this Kim Kardashian influencer crackdown. I think this has wide-reaching effects for social media overall. Just a side note, if you're not sure about anybody's qualifications, you can go to brokercheck.finra.org. You type in their name, and it will tell you if they have held any licenses. There's a few people out there who claim to be licensed who actually are not or never have been. All right, so Kim Kardashian, she was paid $260,000 to promote Ethereum Max tokens. She didn't disclose it. So the SEC fined her $1 million plus the $260,000 that she was paid. I think, I said this at the outset, I think this has wide-reaching effects for those people promoting securities, whether they be licensed or not. Gary Gensler said in this about how you need to look at where is it? I'm looking for the quote. The federal securities laws are clear that any celebrity or other individuals who promote a crypto asset security must disclose the nature, source, and amount of compensation they receive in exchange for the promotion. I like how they call it a security. I mean, you can have it be a security and not have it be registered or regulated, I guess. And then he, goes on to say that investors are entitled to know whether the publicity of a security is unbiased, and Ms. Kardashian failed to disclose this information. There is a lot of pumping of stocks, penny stocks, cryptocurrency, and the like on social media, and I think we could be looking at the SEC moving in on some of these influencers. So it's always good to be careful about what you're talking about on here. And if you're getting compensated, be sure to let people know. Okay. North Korea fired a missile over Japan, landed in the Pacific Ocean. Here is what North Korea typically does. North Korea has a history of saber rattling in the spring. Why in the spring? Well, they saber rattle in the spring because they're out of food. So for them to be saber rattling in the fall. It's a little bit different. I think a couple weeks ago they launched a missile as well. Hey, with everything going on in Ukraine, Russia, China, Taiwan, we just never know how any of this is actually going to all play out. All right. Lastly, what I want to get into is, maybe not lastly, could be lastly. All right. I like to talk a little bit about shipping because, look, shipping is kind of it's an important aspect of the economy that just never gets talked about. It just sort of gets overlooked. Everybody likes to look at GDP and inflation and oil prices and bond prices and the S&P 500 and housing market and unemployment numbers, non-farm payrolls. But look, shipping is like the basics of the economy. Something has to get made and it has to get shipped. So I love this resource, by the way. This is Sonar. It's through FreightWaves. This is the Inbound Ocean Volume Index. So right here, this dotted line is what companies, through surveys, what they're finding out about interest in container bookings. Now, this dotted line doesn't always play out exactly like that. Matter of fact, for the last few days, it's been showing this thing shooting all the way up to where it was back in May. But as you can see, we had a little bit of an uptick in container volume, and now we're through the surveys. They're saying, hey, it looks like it's going to wane a little bit. All of this stuff, any containers that leave now are about 10 weeks away from hitting their endpoint retail destination. So stuff that leaves now, we're looking at getting here at retail by mid-December to mid-January. So this is not Christmas stuff. This is like next year, Valentine's Day type stuff. Might not even be New Year's stuff, but yeah. This is the export shipments to the U.S. This is over the last week. All the red, of course, is ports that we're seeing a decrease in shipping from. Some of them are more important than others. There was one over here the other day. It was like up. Oh, here it is. Halifax. It's up 381%. But we don't really get a lot of stuff out of it, so. But Yantian, Shanghai, both down. Singapore down. Qingdao is up. Navashiva, this is a Western Indian port. And most of the stuff that gets shipped from here comes to the East Coast. So we are seeing an increase in Chico. But we are seeing an increase in. I've been noticing that Indian ports have been popping up here more and more in terms of increases of containers to the United States. So, and then what's the last one? Oh, yeah. This actually came through first thing this morning. So, according to this, 750,000 TEUs, which is 20-foot units, the past 30 days, have been shipped. LA and Long Beach still getting a huge amount of stuff, but we're starting to see a little bit of uptick in Houston and Savannah. They're getting more and more shipments, and LA and Long Beach are getting fewer and fewer. They're just some of these companies just do not want to deal with the West Coast, so they're shipping to our East Coast ports more and more, and they're shipping to our Gulf ports more and more, because they don't want to deal with California. So, anyway, I don't really think I have anything more than that. Savannah has 39 ships that are anchored off the coast. LA and Long Beach have 8 ships en route. Houston has 18 container ships. All the ships anchored off the coast of Houston, off the coast of Texas, only 18 of those are actually container ships. And then Vancouver has 6. Vancouver is an important port. We were watching it last year because when things were getting really backed up in LA and Long Beach, the big box retailers were booking their own ships. They were also flying stuff in, and they were shipping it into Vancouver and then putting it on road and rail and bringing it back over the border from Canada because they were more efficient. There was really not much of a wait. They could get stuff in and out and no problem. So that's why we watch Vancouver. Vancouver is slowed down quite a bit since last year. I'm not doing it around the horn on the shipping. Let's see. This is the so far the only Supreme Court case that I found that's really quite interesting is this Percoco versus United States. The question on this is, does a private citizen who holds no elected office or government employment but has informal political or other influence over governmental decision-making owe a fiduciary duty to the general public such that he can be convicted of honest service fraud? Translation, do they have to disclose that they are actually connected with the politician? The answer really should be yes. I don't know why. Unfortunately, this had to go to the Supreme Court. But you guys can read through the case. I use Ballotopedia. It's a much simpler way for me to get access on these cases. It's summarized a lot better for me. What do we got here? I had something up over here, I think. What to tell clients in a bear market. No, we're not going to go over that. SEC, YouTube, Facebook. Yep, that's pretty much it for the night. We'll see what transpires overnight and what happens tomorrow. And we'll see if we'll see what we're talking about tomorrow. Will the market be up? Oh, market was up. That's the last thing I wanted to cover. I didn't even write that down. The market was up. It was up, I think, mostly because of the Fed's emergency meeting. I think there was some hope that through this meeting, the Fed would maybe lower interest rates or pause hikes, and maybe also pause quantitative tightening, which, by the way, they've already done that. So I think some of this was hope. Some of it was also some algorithm kick in. But overall, I think the market's going to be pretty choppy this month. It's a month leading up to an election. So it's usually pretty unpredictable because there's uncertainty up until the election is decided. All right, folks, that is it for me. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign out, and hopefully we'll have a couple of these out there tomorrow, and we'll catch up with you all later. Frazzle Dad out.